What's up, everybody? My name is Penny from Wacko Witch Astrology here on YouTube. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the alphabet, the numerology of the alphabet, which tells us about the spiritual meaning and the vibration and the energy and the influence that these letters give off in our lives, whether we're using them for words, for businesses, or maybe they're in our personal name. So, of course, if this is a letter that's in your personal name, then it'll affect you a lot, especially if it's the first letter of your name. Today's letter is Y. Y. Oh my. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm being weird. That was awkward. Okay, now what are we doing? Okay, Y. Okay. Y is a very kind of spiritually minded letter. It's a little bit more about higher learning. It's about the idea of things. And people whose names start with the letter Y have this natural sense of being lifted, like they're above it all. So on one end, that allows them to be very kind, very spiritually minded, and not get super wrapped up in the drama that we have here in our lives. But also it can make them seem a little bit stuck up at times, like, no, I'm too good for this. I'm above this. I'm above it all because my name starts with the letter Y. But they do have a little bit of that ability to reach out and bring other people together, but they don't usually want to do it. They usually kind of know, this isn't really my responsibility. This isn't really my job. Yeah, I can see his point of view. I can see her point of view, but it's not my job. It's not my concern. I'm not going to worry about it. And if they actually decide to talk to you and to give you advice, they do have some really insightful, meaningful things they can say. They're good at giving practical advice, but they definitely don't want to get wrapped up if it's just a bunch of drama. They probably have, some drama that they've experienced in their own life, or maybe even an instance where they got involved in other people's drama and they just immediately realized how quickly things can kind of snowball out of control. Like once you get going on the drama snowball, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that is really the way people whose names start with the letter Y tend to see it. That focusing on something will just make it bigger. They really believe in the idea of focusing on something, and we manifest our thoughts and what we are thinking about. So they don't want to be like all thinking about and focusing on the negative thing. They want to think, what can I actually do? There's probably one small thing I can actually do, and dwelling is not one of those things. And they know if they're going to see the changes that they actually want, that it's going to start from their head first. And they kind of expect other people to be able to understand that as well. And they're not necessarily the most social people. Like they're reasonably good at understanding people, and they usually like most people, at least to a healthy extent, but they also usually want to keep people at a little bit of a distance. They don't want too many people getting all wrapped up in their business because, again, they see that as a lot of times just being added responsibility and added problems, and they feel like they're able to focus better and they're able to function better when they have a little bit of alone time. Like, yes, they like to be around people, but they also need their personal space to be able to grow. And the letter Y, honestly, it's almost kind of shaped like a tree, like almost like it has tree branches. So having the space and the nourishment and the room to grow with a little help from other people, but nothing to hinder the growth. If they have too many people crowding them or too many people who are close to them, they'll feel like they can't grow as much and they can't branch out as far, and they'll feel more limited. So they need space, and the more space they're given, ultimately, the more they'll be able to branch out. So these are really especially people who they probably close up more. Like the more they feel overwhelmed by something, or specifically by someone, the more they'll kind of become closed off and not want to open up anymore. And they do better. They function better in work and in their love life. In all areas of life, they will function better when they have a little bit of space and they're able to get their alone time and sit and think and process things and learn. They do love to learn. They probably love to read. I'm feeling like they like to read fiction more than nonfiction. That's just an intuitive guess on my part. Like, please let me know in the comments below if your name starts with the letter Y. Do you prefer fiction or nonfiction? I'm feeling like you would probably prefer fiction because you like to learn through something that is that still allows you to use your imagination, really. And I think a lot of times, like, nonfiction and just learning by reading raw facts might be a little bit dry for people whose names starts with the letter Y, especially with it being the 25th letter of the alphabet. So yeah, Y presents a lot of great physical concepts. Probably the most common word we use that starts with the letter Y is you. And it can sound differently, of course. You doesn't have that Y sound. And that's something I'll probably analyze further with my later videos when I start to analyze words. But another word that I really like that has the letter Y in it is Yin Yang. And we did not take these words from English. We took these words from Chinese. But still, in the Chinese pinyin, they use Y. And it represents like just such this like spiritual concept, and it's something that's naturally occurring in nature. And the process or the idea of yin yang is that, you know, nothing is like necessarily good or bad, and even the things that seem like they're kind of insidious or that they're darker and we might feel like we can't trust them at times, they're still benefiting and they're still contributing to the good things as well. And everything has this kind of like ebb and flow to it, which I think says a lot about the letter Y and why people with the letter Y are so good at seeing things from different points of view, but also that they really don't want to get wrapped up in it. They don't want to have to like share their opinion or let it become anything dramatic. They just kind of want to be able to let things be as they are and process naturally. So let me know what you thought of this video. And I hope to see you again. If you're curious about the readings and services that I offer, or if you want to donate to my channel so I can continue making more educational content, then check the description below. Thanks for coming. I hope you're already subscribed. If not, then please subscribe. Bye. And like and comment and share.